Hey guys!
Hey!
Welcome to another fun edition of Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition. I am Shasta.
And I'm Jess.
I'm so glad I got it right this
Me
time.
too. And we are the Chicks in Charge.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
We
switched it this time. It's okay. Today's guest is so awesome. We have a really cool story with him. He is actually, I think, the very first friend that I ever made in the automotive national space at a conference. And we're still friends to this day, so I cannot wait to introduce you to the former CEO and co-founder of Fixed Ops Digital and current director at TradePending, Owen Moon.
Hi!
How you doing? Good to be here.
Good. How are you?
Finally, we were able to get this done.
We've been trying to do this since October.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's been intense. So
it's funny because your job title was different the first time we tried this.
Yes, it was. Yeah, there's been a little bit of change in my life over the last 90 days, but all for the positive. So glad to be here finally. 2024. We're kicking it off, and good to kind of jam with you guys here today.
I'm actually a little happy that all of those reschedules happened because I'm glad that we get to catch this moment instead of before the last 90 days, because this is huge and everything would have changed so quickly for you had we done it before.
Yeah, and actually there probably would have been a lot I couldn't talk about. So the nice thing is I'm an open book today. So at least
I remember we tried the first episode and you're like, we probably should wait till after Digital Dealer for this because I have some things in the works that will be much better to talk about then. But you still didn't tell us what it was then. It was just we have something going on.
Yeah, 100%. But so that it happened October 6th. Obviously, as a lot of people know, we were acquired by TradePending. And so I've spent the last 90 days to kind of integrating all of our, departments, and employees, and things like that into the TradePending organization. Kevin and myself and Chris and Julie all kind of taking our pieces of the business and really championing that as we've kind of moved everybody into those other departments and environment with TradePending. Obviously, they're a much bigger organization, and so it's going about as well as I could expect. I mean, obviously, we've had some challenges here and there, and just communication and things like that are going to be kind of, I guess, normal in this type of environment. But overall, it's been a great company so far. That obviously I knew a little bit about them prior to the acquisition, but to now kind of be in the trenches with them and kind of looking towards the future with them, it's been great. I couldn't have asked for anything better. So
yeah, it's exciting. It's fun.
So exciting.
Yeah, it's so TradePending, being in the BDC world, TradePending is a company that I get to deal with often. I work with their leads. Got really closely introduced to one of their top salespeople a couple of years back because we had a shared account, and he's been a really strong asset for me. Any dealer that we've brought on, forward with TradePending, and now they just keep growing and growing and growing, and now you guys are unstoppable.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was really, really cool to log into Facebook and see the announcement that two of our favorite partners had joined forces. That was awesome.
Yeah, I would say that, and Bryce, our CEO, had said this in a email that he couldn't believe the social response to it, right? Because they had just acquired another company, 60 days before that, Snapcell, and it was like kind of crickets. I mean, it wasn't that it was bad; it just normal people. Oh, that's cool, and they kind of moved on. When we made this announcement, I think it definitely created quite a buzz. And honestly, it wasn't planned. Obviously, it happens when it happens. Even going into the day, October 5th, I was flying home from a Volkswagen after sales conference, and I honestly wasn't sure that it was gonna happen. And October 6th, we finished it, and it just was a perfect timing because the next week we were all in Las Vegas at the Digital Dealer Conference. So, timing is everything. Sometimes it's a little out of our hands, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it definitely worked out to our advantage.
So I'm curious, what led to the acquisition? How did that all come about?
I've known Joe Dallas for years, right? He's been in the industry for quite a while. I'm an OG at my 24th year now in the business, and so I've known Joe for years, and we've always sort of, been an acquaintance, kind of friends in the industry. Obviously, they, started working with a private equity firm back in 2021, I think, and they made their first acquisition with Auto APR I think late 22. And then, of course, that was kind of their mission then, was to go try to find companies that align with their vision and kind of what they're looking for. And I know, look, let's be honest, right? We kind of kicked the door down on fixed operations and on service.
Oh, yeah.
When it came to digital. And so they really, we had quite a few conversations. Every time I'd go to a conference, I was busy, hustling and networking and all that. But, there was always a 8 a.m. meeting in their suite, to talk a little business, or there was another meeting sitting at the picnic tables outside of Tampa, with their CRO, and him, and just, trying to kind of learn what we're doing and kind of what they're looking for. And we were already kind of moving away from more of that content SEO agency style business and really getting into software with our specials management software, because there was so many more things that we could do with it that we noticed that the dealerships weren't able to do with some of the other options out there. And so when I kind of caught that, hey, if we did this and really finish this, a company like TradePending would be very interested in us, because obviously they have a huge sales team. They've grown quite a bit, but what they is they're a software focused company. And so, that was one of the things that we had to kind of do the last 90 days here, was sunset some products and really come in line with what they were looking for. But when we knew that there was a potential acquisition to be had, we really double timed our efforts to getting this done, knowing that even if it didn't happen, we were going to be in a better place when it was all said and done. And I think that's, sometimes you don't ask for it. It just kind of falls in the line. And I would say that this was one of those situations where, obviously a company like TradePending was more variable based and more sales focused. They want to get into fixed operations as more and more focus is getting put in there. But do you want to try to develop products, or do you want to try to partner with a good company that has grown? And I feel like it was kind of the perfect match. So.
Well, and you guys had grown so big. I mean, every time we would see you guys at conferences or hear about what was going on social media, you guys had just kept growing stores. And you guys were the one fixed ops company that wasn't slowing down, wasn't stopping, no matter what happened with COVID, with, the manufacturer issues that we ran into. You guys just continued to grow. So it wasn't like you guys needed this to happen. This was very much a choice.
Yeah, 2020 we doubled in size. 2021 we doubled in size again. I was like at times like, pinch me or don't pinch me, because I don't want to wake up from this this awesome dream. But no, it those things actually helped us, right? COVID, I mean, as bad as some of that has been for the markets and consumers and all that stuff, putting a focus on fixed operations really helped us, because there was really nobody else doing it. And even companies that are out there kind of trying to copy what we're doing or try to mimic what we're doing, they're not doing it the same way. They're not really focused on the consumer. They're focused on just building software to sell and create revenue opportunities. And I think that's the difference, is that I was kind of that one, I guess, CEO out there that says, okay, what does the dealership looking for? What's the consumer looking for? And can we close that gap? Right. So like one of the things that we came out with was a integration with Sunbit and Dignify, right, which are repair financing companies. This is a area of kind of a friction point for dealers, talking with consumers about being able to utilize the different programs that these repair financing companies offer. And so we were able to kind of help out with that by making sure that our coupons in our offers on the website kind of reflect some of that repair financing information for the consumer. So that wasn't something that I just decided, hey, I want to just do just because. Like, that was listening to dealers, that was talking to them, those companies, and just really trying to bring it together. And now I'm super excited. I was going to show you guys something if you have a couple seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we do. So this is kind of, if you look at our kind of a like new product suite, right? And obviously a lot of this was already here prior to, you can see Fixed Ops Digital down here, but you've got all kinds of different ways that we're bridging the gap from dealer to consumer, right? Like our trade platform, our offers platform, our payments platform. SnapCell, like I said, that was kind of an acquisition where now we have a video solution, both that can be used for sales, and then we've also got a SnapCell service side of it that can help with recommendations and things like that coming from the service department. And then obviously with our specials management software, so now the mission is, and really what our dev team and our tech team is under the hood right now doing is actually figuring out like how can these products potentially work together, make it a unified platform and really drive so maybe trade is helping or Fixed Ops Digital is helping trade, and maybe Fixed Ops Digital is helping SnapCell. These are the things that we're trying to sort of pencil out and whiteboard out and then integrate. And I was hoping to have some of this done by NADA. I'm not sure if we'll quite be there, but obviously it's a long year and there'll be a lot of really cool things. And that's something that dealers are telling us. They're sort of vendored out. They're tired of multiple performance calls or account calls, where they're going over data and things like that. And people have told me like, hey, if we can have one person talk to us about several things, it gives us time back into our schedules. And as we all know, time flies right now and everyone's busy and understaffed and all that good stuff. So, at the end of the day, anything we can do there to help, make everyone's life easier and still create good results for them, I think that's the mission. So
yeah, and that's such a strong statement too, that dealers are tired of working with so many people. I did write it down because I think that's such a huge message that I mean, they get to a point when they're like, when someone calls them, if I call, who do you work for? Like, and it's like, oh,
like we're a partner. What do you mean? Who do I work for?
I had a dealer about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we signed him on SCP. But he wanted us to take over every bit of his marketing. I mean, he sent me his entire marketing budget, all of his results, and said, which of these will you take? So I sent them to my team. We went through everything, and we got on the call with him, and I said, Mr. Dealer, I said, I don't think you should make any of these changes other than what you've already made, because the sources that you're already using are doing such a stellar job for you. If I take SEO from this company and I start running SEO for you, how much more ramp up time are we going to have when they're already doing a dang good job?
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. And his whole point was he wanted to get it down to one company. And I'm still battling him now. Like, we've taken a little bit and we're going to slow roll it and then we'll take a little bit more. But that's been the biggest thing that I've been hearing from the sales perspective lately was dealers are trying to decrease their number of vendor calls that they have to get on every week.
Well, and it's because vendors aren't being partners. If you were a partner, nobody would view you that way.
That is true.
Well, and I also believe that there's a little bit of salesmanship that goes in it, right? Like there's a website platform, I won't mention names, but that's one of their calling points. Like, hey, you don't need all these other companies. You can just work with us. But the problem is, and this is where I kind of push back a little bit on having one vendor for everything. I mean, you have to have the right vendor partner for everything. Is you can't have the best chat widget. You can't have the best trade tool. You can't have the best specials management tool. Like, you can't have all of those things. As a company, it would take a lot of money and a lot of time to do that. So that's where a company like TradePending is using the acquisition approach to say, hey, let's find the best payments tool out there. Let's find the best specials management tool out there. Let's find some of these better products one of the best video platforms out there, and let's bring them in. And then we're creating synergy that way. But they didn't have to put a lot of dev and time into trying to develop it just to get something off the ground and then know that, hey, your competitor's 10 years ahead of you because they've been doing it longer. So I think there's approach. I mean, I think the right approach is obviously it takes money, it takes resources, but if you can acquire companies to help you with your mission, that's great. Otherwise, dealers are going to have to somewhat deal with multiple vendors or vendor partners because of that. They want to work with the best, right? And so, a lot of times when we may receive a cancellation, or we might even receive an integration where they say, hey, we're going with this so-and-so's website platform. 60 days later, they're coming back, right? They're like, oh, unwind us or rewind us. We're, that was a mess, blah, blah, blah. So, there's a lot of that.
Move.
Yeah. So we just kind of go with it. But at the end of the day, I think that's what dealers need to really think about is who are your partners and
Absolutely.
are they providing you with the best of the best?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So
yeah, that's a takeaway too. Don't mind me just writing.
all good.
So I know that you are prepping to, you're going several places right now, but then right afterwards we have NADA, the 1st through the 4th, 3rd.
Yeah, 1st through 4th. Yep.
It's the
First week of February.
Yes.
So I know that you guys will be there. Are you going to be in the TradePending booth or?
I'll be bouncing around between the TradePending and the Fixed Ops Digital booth. I think our Fixed Ops Digital booth is in the North Hall, and then our TradePending booth is in the West Hall. So, but we'll have people from TradePending in our booth, and people from Fixed Ops Digital, our Fixed Ops specialists in the other booth. So there'll be chance that if somebody stops by one of the booth and wants to talk to about any of our solutions, our products, we'll have somebody there to be able to talk to them as well. So I'm super excited for it. It kind of snuck up, I think, on everybody. So luckily, I have a much larger team now. But we're gearing up for that. We've got a couple after sale conferences that are coming up. Like for example, we've got BMW in March. A nice thing about those is that they only invite partners that are in the programs, right? So us being a certified BMW and Mini partner allows us to be able to go to those different conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And then in April, that's in March, and then April, I'm actually doing a presentation, and we are a keynote sponsor of the David Kain workshop that's in Lexington. So I've been there a couple times. It's a great event. He always has some awesome, fun stuff to do that's sort of, kind of entwined with education. I think we were talking a little bit before, that last year was a horse track racing, which I'd never done before. And then we went to this abandoned castle that they did like a dinner and hors d'oeuvres type of deal. So yeah, overall, it's going to be a busy first quarter for me. I got to spend a month at home, from the time I got done traveling in December through now. But now we're starting to ramp up, and so super excited. So I'll probably see you at some of those events.
Oh, for sure you will. We will definitely be at NADA right now. We will be at, I know we'll be at Women in Automotive in May, and IADA. We'll be at them all too. So
Used Car Week, I think, probably.
Oh, for sure.
I just don't know the dates of that one yet. So you said something very quickly, but with BMW and Mini and having the partnership with the manufacturers too, how was that impacted with your acquisition? Did that change anything? Did TradePending have to be manufacturer approved?
No, they actually just rolled us in because obviously they acquired our company. So obviously our company stayed, intact. And now they're sort of I don't know. It's all I say out of the accounting side, but they're rebranding everything, kind of incorporating everything, as you could say, for lack of a better word. But actually, I think it'll help us because obviously TradePending also has some OEM relationships. We're out now. Obviously, I'm with a much bigger organization now, and so I believe that this year we will probably add more of those OEM partnerships and that type of thing. And the one thing I love about them is that the service side of the business really leans on the Shift Digital relationships and the JD Power relationships and stuff a lot more than on the sales side. Obviously I started my career in the sales side and kind of moved over into from an agency side, and then just moved over to Fixed Ops Digital when we started that company in 2018. But more than I ever thought, they really value those relationships. So we're the only certified Lexus and Toyota partner to put specials management software on their website. So so that helps us when we're talking to those brands. We have a great relationship with Volkswagen. Actually, have quite a few of their over 100 and some of their stores that work with us, and we're working on a few other ones. So that's all I can say. But yeah, we've got a lot in the works, and it's great to be able to kind of tap into some of those resources. Yeah. I found that they know all the same people I know. So it's like now we're coming at a much more position of strength. So
yeah, I think especially 2024, TradePending is going to be a company to watch.
Oh, for sure. without a
Yeah,
doubt.
and I think you're right, and I think one of the things that I wanted to mention this because obviously you guys have been really really great, obviously as friends in the business, but also we obviously as Fixed Ops Digital did not do a lot of sales hiring and things like that, right? And so for a while we were working with you guys and your team on your B2B outreach program that you guys have, and that went really well, and it really kind of helped bridge the gap from when we didn't have any sales reps or a lot of sales reps to the acquisition. Obviously now being with TradePending, we have about 60 sales reps, and they're constantly hiring sales reps and all that, so it's a much different strategy and vision and that type of thing. But I know that you guys really helped us last year as we were getting opportunities to talk to dealers and things like that. And so I just wanted to kind of personally thank you guys for that, because obviously I took a chance with you guys, and I would highly recommend you to anybody that's out there looking to obviously up their swings, I guess, trying to get some swings and talk to dealers about different products that they offer. So
awesome. Well, thank you for that. That means a lot. And I don't know if you know this, but you were Fixed Ops Digital was one of our very first B2B clients that we had.
Wow.
Whenever we started our B2B department was it March last year, I think?
Something like that.
And then it really just took off come June, and we've grown that department so much. But it was really Fixed Ops Digital that I had the ability to learn everything that I needed to learn to develop the team. And with yours and Derek's help, it helped me build that team out, and it helped me develop processes. And I could message Derek at any time and say, hey, did this guy show? What do I need to do to make this happen? And he was so willing to help me and work with me. And I think that's a testament to your leadership and your team too. So it was wonderful to work with Fixed Ops Digital and Derek.
We miss it very much.
We
do.
Say
it all the time.
We do.
Well, what I like, it's just a little different, right? I mean, I've spent my whole career networking with dealerships, finding those like-minded stores that I want to work with, because I was a much smaller entity, right? So I didn't have all the bandwidth to handle all these clients. So it was like, hey, let's pick the ones that we kind of all think alike, right? Mm-hmm. And then as we grew Fixed Ops Digital and got to 500, 600, 700 clients, it changes your mentality in that I can't know these clients, like the back of my hand, so to speak, with all of them. So then you start building an infrastructure, right? So we built out a performance team, and we have all of these layers to help make sure that the dealerships are getting, they're getting the response, and that they're getting the attention that they need. When you look at sales, it's how do you go about it, right? If I'm creating those relationships myself, I know right where I'm at with them. And so one of the things with you guys, I know that we did a lot was, change, how were we trying to, get those appointments and get those demos and all that stuff. And so
however often we needed to, and giving it a few hours or even a day before we're like, okay, we're not moving forward with this until we change this because this is not working.
Yeah. And that's what, that's all I would say for anybody that's, looking to get in that environment, is that, what is your guys' role in it? Your guys' role is to obviously get the company demos. And so that's, and then you come up with different ways to ensure that demo shows. Maybe you send out a reminder email, maybe you make a phone call, there's a lot of different ways that can be done, but it's like anything, right? You if you don't put the work in and you don't think through some of the pitfalls, things don't work. And if you can find that perfect magic, and then it goes. But
Owen, we have loved so much having you on the show today, and we appreciate you taking the time to come on the show today. I know you've been so busy over the last 90 days, and I know you're getting ready to leave again to be back on the road. So you taking the time today to hop on with us means the world to us.
Yeah, I figured I better not cancel you guys again, or you guys might not even re-invite me. So no, I appreciate. Thank you so much.
I didn't tell him. So Robin had text, or whenever I was coming in here earlier, she said, "Did you text Owen and ask him if he was coming?" And I said, "No, because every time I do, he cancels." I said, "So now we're just gonna get on and just see if he shows up."
Yeah, I definitely, it's been a little nuts, so I appreciate it. I know some of the times also on you guys too. I know you guys had a couple things going on as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was after October and the travel for the conferences, that and used car week. Like, I don't think we recorded a single episode. I mean, we
We didn't for over
we
a
did
month.
2 in like late November after used car week, and after that we were still just trying to get
Caught up.
our bases again after everything that happened like the last quarter of last year. I think all the dealers were on the same page. We were on the same page. We were just like, can we please get to the next year now? Because this is ridiculous.
We're gonna skip this.
Turn the calendar, right? Let's go.
Yep.
So this was awesome. I'm so glad we finally got to do it. And like I said in the beginning, you were one of our very first friends in the automotive industry.
And also one of the first people written down on our list as far as interviewees that we wanted to interview.
Yes.
So you were on our wish list.
Well, thank
before
you. That's humbling, and I appreciate it. But it's been, obviously, I've loved watching your guys' growth as well. I have most respect for both you guys, and also Robin. And obviously, I'm excited to see your guys' growth and kind of what you guys are doing, because you guys are definitely fitting a need that dealerships have. And I think I guess we could talk. I should interview you guys sometime. But I'm assuming that some of the employment issues and personnel issues that we're seeing across the country probably put a spotlight in your business as well as
sure.
well needed. So yeah, just keep rocking. I love seeing good people succeed, and you guys are some of the best. So
thank you. We appreciate that. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap it up now. In a world where you can be anything, be kind, because you never know what someone else is going through. So while out in the world with this week, remember to light it up. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And this is Owen, and we are the Chicks in Charge. Thank you, everybody, for watching.